Um, and it's the ACC's fault. All this, right? It's the ACC's fault to me. Everybody's blaming Bama. Everybody's blaming Miami and Notre Dame. And I think it's all the ACC's fault. And let me explain about this. How are you putting a team that's 7-5 in your championship game? Duke is they were 7-5. They lost all their non-conference games and won most of their conference games. So they're sitting there with 5 losses going to the ACC championship. And Virginia, I think at the time, was 10-2. And they said the worst thing that could happen is 7-5 Duke beating Virginia. And it happened. It happened. The worst case scenario happened because had Virginia won that game, you probably, I don't know, but it's the ACC's fault. Number one, Miami should have been in that game because if Miami wins, that's a spot that's taken up by the ACC. And then you would have Bama open, and you would have had Notre Dame open, and you would just have one group of 5 team open. And all this would have been fixed. And all this would have been whatever. Because the ACC don't know how to schedule or do conference things right, they don't know how to do anything right. You have Duke, who 7-5 beat Virginia, and now 2 group of 5 teams in Tulane and James Madison's in the playoffs. Ridiculous. So we're blaming Bama. We're number one. We were the number 1 seed in the SEC. Yes, we got whooped, but you can't ignore our body of work. You cannot ignore that we have the best win, probably other than Indiana now. They beat Ohio State, so they got the best win now. But out of Bama, Miami, and Notre Dame, Alabama has the best win. When we beat
to Athens
and beating them on the road,
and then beating 4 straight ranked opponents.
Yeah. Y'all can't ignore that.
4 or 5 straight ranked.
I know we've been looking like boo-boo the last 3 to 4 weeks, and I get that. I understand that completely 100%. But it's not about the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's about the body of work, which is why Miami jumped Notre Dame because they did beat them in week 1. And it's also the committee's fault. Your first ranking come out, and you have Notre Dame at 10, Miami at 18. I think that when Miami had lost to Louisville, so I get it. They kind of overreacted, and I think they overreacted with the Bama thing too. When we lost to Oklahoma by 2, y'all put us at 4 all the way to 10. When y'all should have put us at like 8 or 9. They overreacted, and then I think the last 2 weeks they're like, "Oh crap, we got to fix this." And I think they screwed up. They put Miami all the way at 18 when they lost, when they should have just been maybe at 15 or 14, maybe. And you had Notre Dame at 10, you had Miami at 18. You was already in the conundrum then when you put them all the way back there. So now the last 2 weeks you're trying to fix stuff. And that's why people are mad. Like, hold on, you had Bama at 10 this whole time. Then right before y'all had them at 9, and y'all switch. Why they switch? And they just beat a horrible Auburn team by 7. What's going on? Now Miami's all the way up here? What's going on? Because they screwed up. They overreacted and they screwed up. And now the season's about to end. So they got to put these teams close together. Because, you know, it's kind of the right thing to do.
And then if you put them right next to each other, you got to go head to head.
Exactly. Leads to that. And I understand why Notre Dame is mad. It's like we went from all the way to 9, and we kept playing our game, and went all the way down to 11 or 12 where we're at now, and we're out the playoffs. When y'all could have just had them down there. If you had Notre Dame down there at 12 or 11 this whole time, they can't be mad because, all right, we knew where we stood at.
Yeah.
But the fact that you had them all the way in and then you put them all the way out, y'all got to start doing these rankings better, and y'all got to stop overreacting to some losses. And I think this is a big part of it. Bama loses by 2 points to Oklahoma. With everybody that saw that game know that Bama should not have lost that game. So you put us all the way from 4 to 10, which I thought was a big overreaction. We should have been 8 at least. And then the last 2 weeks you're trying to fix it. But going into the playoffs, you got number 12 JMU at number 5 Oregon. JMU at Oregon.
Yeah. This is why I wish they would just
had their own.
Yeah,
they had their
own playoff. 12 best teams. I know what can go play. James Madison, bro. They gotta go to UG. What y'all y'all think finna happen?
Man, they about to get
What y'all think about to happen?
Molly.
How is that a good looking anyway? Oh well, we got to go.
That's all they're happy about. They're in the playoffs. That JMU spot and Tulane spot could have went to Notre Dame or Texas or Vandy.
Let's see little brother get in there, Vandy, and see they could make a run.
Yeah,
That's a dangerous team.
they could. I ain't gonna lie, Notre Dame could.